Hi, this is Hrudai from the US.
Hi, this is Vatsa reporting from India, and this is VHDTV.
Yes, this is VHDTV. How are you? What is going there?
It's awesome. It's going. I'm having a blast. It's almost everything that I'm doing from past 12 hours is very authentic. I watched two authentic movies, and then I went on a bike ride. I met my very close family friends. So I went on the bike for the first time on this bike with my appaya. So it was on the 650cc machine. It was like fun and a blast. And then I came home to eat jolada roti with amazing curries actually. So it's amazing so far.
Yeah, today I had went to my friend's house too. Again. And then today we had an amazing curry just like yours. And then today we're planning to watch a movie like you, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. All right. What's the topic?
The topic is called, this first part of this will be called Tree Story.
Okay, so, you have a background. Okay.
Yeah, so I will be telling the first part of this topic with backgrounds.
Awesome.
So this is Tree Story. So first, from a seed, a little sapling emerges. Then it grows and grows to become a plant. This plant puts more hard work and tries to break through the limits and becomes a small tree. Small, but a tree. Then this becomes a pretty big tree, like a normal, standard tree that you usually see in your backyards.
Sure.
This will turn out to be this. The tree will get chopped down by humans. Why? Because we need it for paper, then we need it for building houses. All that remains of that is a tree stump. An empty little tree stump. Imagine if our world was just filled with tree stumps. Nope. Now, why do they cut trees? As I said, for the paper and the houses. But they can use cement yes?
Actually, there are other reasons why they cut trees. So, I mean, I'm seeing it day in and day out here in India. They're cutting trees for constructing new streets, new houses. So they have to clear the land. So they're cutting a lot of trees.
Yeah. I mean, like, use the land that we already have. Yeah. But still, thank you for adding that. So instead, for houses, you can just, first let's start with Rose. Let's just try to use the land we have. Why make new space? I mean, yeah. And then we have houses. Why? How can we construct houses? Well, in India, the house that you are sitting in this very moment has been constructed of stone and cement. So that is good. Can't find any poles to hold it up. Use metal poles. What's the problem with that?
Yeah, but not only that, although you're right, in India, it's brick and mortars kind of construction. There are a lot of things that we use on a daily basis, like the cot, the sofa, couch, the dining chair, tables. Those are all made out of wood.
Well, yes, but there are, I have a table that is made out of steel and it can be used. So that is one thing. Then, okay, so we can't cut trees, but beavers can? Like, what is this? Beavers don't cut trees very often, like maybe even once a month. And it's been reduced even more because we are cutting down the trees that they have supposed to cut. So that is resulting in habitat loss. And they can't make the dams that are essential to the fish, to the ponds that we have. These fish, they eat the corals in coral reefs. So they migrate to where the ponds that the beavers make, and then they migrate back to ocean to go to the coral. So this then the coral, they chomp on the coral. But what happens to the coral? Coral bleaching. Okay, there's something called climate change. You know that, right? Yeah. Scientists prefer the word climate change over global warming because climate change has resulted in hurricanes, tornadoes, all of those stuff. It's not just warming, it's also rain pouring down, all of those things.
Other natural disasters, yes.
Yes. So that's why they call it climate change. Right. So climate change is resulting in coral bleaching. Do you know what coral bleaching it is?
The death of corals?
Sort of, but this is why it happens. The death, not the death of corals. So what gives the coral just turned white?
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful. White stretches of coral. But when you realize why that is happening, it's crazy. See, these warm waters, there will be warm waters, and the coral will like colder waters. Rather, the bacteria that live on the coral like colder waters. So because of the warmer water, the bacteria leave, and that provides no nutrients for the coral, and so the coral dies. Oh, and why they become white? I think I said that the color comes from the bacteria. Yeah. So, and then that makes the fish all leave, and it just looks like an underwater ghost town.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on TV, yeah.
It's creepy.
Actually, I've also seen that when I did a scuba dive, I actually saw some white bleached corals as well. It's sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, enough about warm water. What about frozen water, ice? Well, that is also becoming warm. There are polar bears, just an example of an animal. Polar bears, in my opinion, are pretty cute. So I'm just talking about polar bears. So these polar bears are live on the ice, okay? But now, because it's all breaking and melting, they don't have a home. Of course, they can adjust and they can swim. But humans, us, we are not ready to adapt. Because of this, they're trying to keep it like this. But in doing so, they are changing the planet even further. Humans are pretty paranoid about the next ice age, right?
Yeah.
They must be paranoid about chopping trees further than CO2. Why? Because CO2 might be the cause of the next ice age. Okay.
Right.
So how does a ice age happen? Because of CO2 coming out. Usually it's out of volcanoes. So I'm just taking volcanoes. They usually come out of volcanoes and they blanket the earth. That is cozy for a while, but the sun can't get the light, so it reflects the heat. So that makes it really cold. So for a short time, it will be cozy, but now it'll be really, really cold. Even colder than like seriously cold. That's how the first Snowball Earth happened. Snowball Earth is basically ice age. So now we are producing CO2 at such a high level, we think that that might be the cause of the next ice age. Now, I would like to take this moment to tell you a very sad thing. There are more man-made things on this earth than natural things.
Seriously?
Yes. Today, Amma told me while we were driving back home that there were more man-made things on this earth than natural things. That's pretty sad.
Really sad. Really, really sad.
Okay. And we're doing, okay, about chopping down trees, about destroying trees. Well, what is happening is we're also depriving trees of getting destroyed. You get it?
No.
Okay. We all are thinking like, fire, oh gosh, what do we do? Fires. Okay, we must evacuate this house. Oh no, what happens if our house burns down? We're all scared about fires.
Right.
But it's actually very good for the forests. Like, if the forest gets burnt down, it'll be the bark will become ashes, and then that will make sprouts shoot out. I watched this video saying that we've deprived the forest of fire, and that's the reason why there is this huge organism, largest organism. It's called, don't remember what it's called, but it's a huge tree that grows underground. So it doesn't have fire, so that's why it's not growing as it used to do.
Actually, you're right. Because of those ashes and other things, it actually makes the soil more fertile for the next generation to arrive. But the question is, with the enormous amount of forest fires, it's almost like a volcano effect. It's going to create the CO2 blanket, and it might be the first step towards the snowball Earth.
Well, we shouldn't make it enormous, like not big. It's at least gonna happen naturally, the snowball Earth, like
Right.
how it happened before. I can't say that it's not gonna happen, but what I'm saying is let's try to prevent it. Let us not be the ones who cause this snowball Earth.
I see. So basically, you're saying that let it happen organically and naturally. Let's not manipulate the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Speaking of fires, I'm gonna talk about mass extinction. So humans' mass extinction.
Humans, man. Okay.
The mass extinction of humans. So usually it has been like dinosaurs, the creatures before dinosaurs. They've all had something called mass extinction, and that's a common factor on the Earth.
Yes.
But scientists think that the human mass extinction, I mean, it has to happen. Accept it. It's inevitable.
Yeah, that's true.
So the scientists think that this mass extinction won't be natural, like the snowball Earth. Scientists think that this will be a man-made mass extinction if we keep going on the road that we're going now. So, as I said, there are more man-made things than natural things. So, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So what would be? Maybe it's a combination of everything. Maybe high tornadoes, tsunamis, forest fires, everything packed together might start affecting us. It's a catastrophic or a domino effect in the nature that would cause the human extinction, I guess. Yeah.
I kind of remember watching a documentary with you about this, that scientists think that the next mass extinction will be about humans, because of humans.
Honestly, I don't remember it, but yeah, thanks for reminding.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go from that to something even worse, let's say, crueler. Pigs. Do you know how they keep pigs? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost raised almost equivalent to cattle's. I mean, pigs are more resilient, or it has a wider choice of food. But other than that, yeah, it's domesticated, it's grown. I mean, I have seen pig farms. Although in India they don't eat. A lot of people don't eat pork or pig. They do. There are some societies which still continue to do that, and I've seen farms over there. In United States, it's more like an industry because there are a lot of people who are consuming it. So it's bred on a massive scale, and many pigs are actually go because they are close to each other. They want to make sure that they need to protect it, and that's why there's a lot of antibiotic dosage that goes into it, and also there's a lot of protein and unnecessary um, growth to make more meat out of one single pig. I guess these are the things that are happening. Is that right?
Basically. So to just summarize what you said, I just call them pigs are in smelly, icky, virus-filled pigsties.
True.
So that's basically the summary of what they do. And then what do? We kill them. We kill them. Okay, now let's talk about chickens. Chickens are cramped in pens. It's almost like jail. Maybe I think jail is probably better than how we treat the chickens.
Right. True. Agree. I've seen chicken farms both in the United States and India, and it's crazy. Of course, there are a few attempts to make cage-free chickens, but cage-free eggs, or also they sell cage-free chicken, I guess. But again, it's not truly cage-free, right? It's not like on a lush green land where chickens are walking and dancing throughout the day. No.
So after that, you know what happens.
Yeah.
And they're not even treated as living organisms. Let me remind you, they have a life just like us. So all men are created equal. That's the thing. But actually, it's supposed to be all living organisms are created equal.
True.
Okay.
Maybe I just want to add here. So many people actually argue that, hey, how about that? Okay, let's talk about the classic debate between vegetarians and non-vegetarians, or vegans versus non-vegetarians. So when vegans start talking about don't harm animals, blah, 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 a typical argument from the non-vegetarians is that, hey, how about plants? Plants have life too. But I think the answer from the scientists is that plants do not feel pain. So they have realized that they do not have these pain receptors, so they cannot respond and things like that. So plant, according to science, cannot be categorized or classified at the same level as any other living organism, because which has brain, which has nerves, spinal cord, sensors, things. The structure of an animal cell is fundamentally different from the plant cell. So it starts at the cell level. The distinction between these two things are different. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But people still eat it, and we have to respect if they are eating it. I mean, I personally hate people hunting down the animals for fun, like even fishing. I mean, some people do claim that fishing is a way of controlling the number of fishes in the ecosystem, but I think there are different techniques. All said and done, I mean, if they are eating, I'm no one to control them, but at least
we can inform.
Killing an organism for fun
is
something that definitely affects me, and it's an emotional thing for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about cows now, as you had mentioned before. Mm-hmm. They are kind of treated, in some ways, they are treated better than pigs or chicken, but they're treated equally worse. I've seen videos with you about how they are separated from their child the moment the child is born. And if the child is a boy, they're just slaughtered. If it's a girl, they're made to be like her mother, constantly reproducing and giving lots of milk. And it must be torture for them.
Yeah.
But the milk, okay, this is what's ironic. Almost no milk goes to the calf at all. Just keep reproducing just for the humans. And after that, we kill them, the cows. And to fatten them up, we use 15% of the water on the drinkable water on Earth to water the things the livestock eat and for them to drink. All in the end to just kill them. Like, what is this?
Yeah, so maybe I want to add here. So in India, which is mostly Hindu majority country, cows are treated as a god. So at the surface level, it's not killed. In fact, if you walk on streets, you can find cattle or cows walking around. People even actually touch them and kind of worship them. So these things happen at the surface level. But the bottom line is, India is also consuming quite a bit of milk, not same in the same amount like few of the Western and Scandinavian countries, not no, European countries, where there's a lot of consumption of cheese and things like that. But India does consume a lot of milk, and the problem is still the same, right? The cattle are crammed in a very small shed. They suffer a lot. Earlier, back in even when I was a kid, and also in the previous generations, it was more localized, meaning every house had a cow. They actually named her Gauri, Kaveri, and made them as a family member. Okay, so it was not like it was producing a calf every year, and it was not just manufacturing milk. It was treated as a family member. So it was very well controlled. But because of so-called, I don't know whether it's globalization or capitalistic thought process, all these dairy farms have been mushroomed and kind of going in a large scale. Now those cattle are available. Of course, most of the Indians, Hindus do not eat even cows. Even if they're non-vegetarian, they don't eat it. But the slaughtering still continues, because I had read somewhere that India is also one of the largest exporter of beef. How is this going to happen?
Because they do it under the government's noses.
No, they might still do it through the government. Again, I should not be misquoting anything here, but they do take these actions. Like you said, if the calf is a male, it's no. I mean, earlier they used to use the male, which is ox, to plow the land, but these days it has been replaced with tractors and other agricultural machines. So that's also they used to have bullock carts, and those are all for both cargo and passengers, and that's obsolete now. So what would they do if you cannot control the gender of the calf? So these things are actually ill-treated anyways. Maybe we should double check, but I remember many years before I was reading some article where they said that India is also one of the largest beef exporter, but we need to check. Hopefully, if they have stopped it, it's great. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So I wrote a song.
By the way, very quick. Oh, song. Okay. Quick question. Are we still in the part one?
Part one.
You said part one and started with the trees and background.
Oh, the starting part, that was
okay.
Just that slideshow.
Slideshow. Okay. It's an awesome, because I'm enjoying this topic, so I'm very interested in how this would actually unfold further. And now you're unfolding through a song or something poetry, I guess.
Yeah, a song.
Okay.
So a few months or weeks ago, I had written a small song about like climate change and how we can stop it and all of those things. I just refined it a bit to go with the topic. So would you like to hear it?
Absolutely. You never told me. Come on, dude.
It was a surprise.
Okay. You forgot, and now you're saying that it's a surprise.
Nope.
Okay, sure.
The change that I fear is a change we all fear. This drastic. Oh, and one last thing. It goes with Neville Longbottom's theme in Harry Potter.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I know the tune, but I didn't know the exact lyrics, but I know what the
Yeah.
tune. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
The change that I fear is a change we all fear. This drastic change has a change in its name. Global warming, climate change, whatever you call it, it's bad for the earth. Atmosphere polluted, our seas are trashed, hurricanes, tornadoes, more glaciers melting, fossil fuels will be gone, life extinct, the Goldilocks planet will be hot as Venus. We have rid our planet of necessary nourishment, even if we think it is good. A good example is wildfire, bad for us but good for trees. If only we could just take care of our planet just how we take care of ourselves, but we can do better. Don't chop those poor trees just to make these houses. Don't chop them to make expensive paper. Use the cheaper planet-friendly leaf cotton paper to make your drawings come to life. Do not treat those poor cows in the way you extract the milk and the beef from their living body. Don't make them reproduce at such high rates. This is neither good for us, this is neither good for them, neither for us, for this process is making more CO2. Livestock farming uses 15% of the water on Mother Earth. There are more man-made items that are on this earth than natural things. This just shows how we have gripped our planet and how we won't let go of it.
Dude, did you share this with your teacher?
I shared the first part of it.
You should definitely. I mean, it's comprehensive. It's complete. It's awesome. It's awesome. You have covered. I mean, I followed each and every word and phrases here. This is awesome. Awesome job. Take a marker and put a star on behalf of. Yeah, it was awesome. Really good job. So
Thanks.
you have comprehended the entire thing, and actually you have added all the dimensions where we are actually manipulating the system, not just air pollution. Because typically when we talk about pollution, we just talk about air pollution or something, but you have just added everything over there, all the layers. Awesome stuff.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's my topic for today.
This was awesome. I don't know how many minutes we recorded, but every minute here was absolutely amazing and very important. I'm really glad and fortunate that you're thinking in this way, because your generation has to carry this baton and actually save the planet. Okay, we are in the cusp. Unfortunately, many times we deal in the society with a kind of a hypocrisy. We say something and do something else, but I think your generation will take the right step. I'm very, very positive that these kind of ideas and thought process are kind of getting instilled at the ground zero level, where kids join the kindergarten. The elementary school is very important, and the voice of the kids of this generation is getting heard, right?
Yeah.
I know many family members in California are actually turning vegan, because it's not because of anything like a religious, but they realize that the amount of water that is needed to create 1 pound of beef is going to tax the environment quite a bit. So so those are the thought process that are running. People are thinking about alternate energy. They are respecting the wind, solar, so the fossil fuels are not getting burned. People are becoming minimalistic. They are making that as a status symbol, because earlier people used to just go and purchase everything, and then they used to clutter the entire house. So there is a saying, right? The things that you own will start owning you. So that's what was happening. Now the minimalism is the next cultural shift that's happening. So your generation is buying only the things that they absolutely need. So that's great. A lot of these electric cars are dictating the world. So that's going to change this ecosystem. People are going on the bicycles. They are preferring that. They understand it's going to give a great exercise. Also helps to commute, and it's the most safe way of commuting as well, right? I mean, if I fall, I just have some bruises or cuts. It's not like I'm going to break my head. If I wear the helmet, it's not going to create any big problem. The worst thing that can happen is probably a hairline fracture. So a lot of good things are happening. I am really looking forward to see how your generation actually takes the world to the next level. I hope I live for next 200 years. But awesome stuff.
Yeah, you said that their kids' voice are being heard, and that a lot of people are turning vegan. So when you said that, I just had a small thought. My friend, she was actually meat eating, but then she realized everything, and then she persuaded her parents, saying, "We've got to become vegan. It's really happening. Even if you don't turn vegan, I'm turning vegan. So let's do that." That's
Awesome.
what my friend said. And then I've also relatively stopped drinking milk after I've learned what has happened. But I still think milk is okay because we need it. Yeah.
Pros and cons. I mean, you can always find supplements for vitamin B12 because that's the claim. People say calcium is no more important thing. Yeah, you have that supplements anyways. Yeah, it's finding the right balance. Like I said, right, I have seen ecosystems where the cows were not ill-treated at all. It was almost treated as a family member, but things have changed, and we have to make sure that we do the right changes in the system so that the ecosystem is safeguarded, and we safeguard that, and they will protect us, right? At the end of the day, we are not doing for the nature, we are doing for ourselves.
Yeah.
Awesome topic, dude. I mean, I wish I could continue. I am. So I started this conversation saying that I'm having a blast, and after this end of this conversation, I can tell you that I continue to have this blast, but in more meaningful way. I'm really happy that our Earth is in the safe hands. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Go VHDTV.
Go VHDTV. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.